and behavior that tells me I am a royal person, right? But if I am of God, of the King of Kings, breathing the same breath as God, breathing the same breath as a king, then truly I have that real girl character. Genesis 2:7. So I'll ask you a question. If you had to go to a market, maybe Oshodi Market or wherever it is, or the most rowdy market, think about it. And you went into the market, what will you feel uncomfortable seeing when you go there? Or you feel is normal? And in that same market, if a king had to go into that market, how will that market look? Very organized, very prepared. Even the so-called touts, that's, they will behave right. You see, that is how we should see things in a situation of chaos. Because that is how God sees the earth today, despite the situation of chaos and going around. He doesn't see the disorderliness. He actually sees the order. Choosing to accept royalty and acting it. We all know this verse. 1 Peter 2:9. You can put it up on the screen. Choosing to act as royalty and acting it. Truly, we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, that you should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. That you choose or you fail to choose. You either choose to reveal God, you either choose to experience God's grace, you either choose to expect royalty and command authority, you either choose to live in splendor, and you choose to walk in the Spirit. As God's own, God had a perfect plan for man from the point of creation. He so did it that when he was creating man, he didn't even tell man that there was an evil person that was around, right? Because he was so focused on that perfect plan. God has a well laid out strategy for everyone. Jeremiah 29:11. However, what is your own strategy? What is your own plan to reflect God in your life as God's own? Have you ever thought about it? Or like Pastor Victor will say, Christians, we just wake up every day, take the day by day, and just move around, just walk around. Some people will argue, you did not tell me good morning, you did not tell me good morning. The person complaining has even told God good morning. If he had spent 10 minutes telling God good morning, you will not argue with anybody on the road saying that you've not told me good morning. Because you will be so focused on what you achieved for the day that you will not be seeing people not telling you good morning. You will be so focused with what you want to achieve that you will not, some bosses, you cannot say good morning. What is good about the morning? If you had spent 15 minutes even singing praises to God to tell God good morning, you will not be thinking of people not saying good morning. You will actually pity them for not even telling God good morning. Your behavior is the biggest mirror to the world that reveals God, shows the work of the Spirit, and how you represent him as King on earth. May God forgive me. May God forgive all of us. We're falling short. We're falling short. Your behavior of royalty, your physical and spiritual robe of royalty changes the way you view things. I will give you the definition of a prison. To a normal person, a prison is a punishment. You deserve it, right? Stay there. However, there's a view that the jail or the prison is a boarding school, a correction facility, that someone has a specified time to graduate, right? if that person has a specified time to graduate out of that place, who is meant to teach them there to come out of there quickly? Christians are morally conscious. God cannot control your will and your behavior. He never controlled Adam. He never controlled the Israelites, even though they saw him definitely. Even Judas, he could not control his will and his behavior. The power you have is your will in yourself to control, to develop, to reflect the royalty God has given to you, to show you are for God or against God. It's not by just confessing with your mouth. Your willpower is linked to your conscious and subconscious mind. Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh, so he is. So bring me to the question. What does it mean to be morally conscious and humble? Like I said, it's not about avoiding sin. Oh, Joseph was avoiding. You see, before Joseph even avoided sin, his brothers didn't like him because he was the olofofo. Right? Yes. Because when he saw things uncomfortable they were doing, he was telling the father. That is being morally conscious. When you see wrong and you want to correct wrong, right? So, it lies more in doing what morally conscious Christians, it's more about doing what should be rightfully done and at the right time. Samuel 24:4-7. You know, when David had the opportunity to kill Saul, and they even told him, "Oga, you can kill him. It is right. He deserves it. You should kill him. He has wanted to kill you." He said he could not do such, for it was forbidden to. Situations like that, can you control and withhold yourself? Being at the right place at the right time. You look at the story of David and Bathsheba. David was meant to be somewhere, and he chose to be somewhere else. And he fell short, making the right decisions. Esther 4:13-14. Please put it up. You know, when we have achieved, or some people feel they've gotten to a certain place, they feel it's auto-cruise and it's autopilot. You cannot be in a position, whatever your level is, and be comfortable with things not going right around you. It's not a true behavior of royalty. Esther said, "If I perish, I will go and see the king." And she made a conscious effort to fast, prepare, and wait. She was not aggressive about it. That's another topic of Christians being very humble. She was not aggressive about it and took her time and her place, and she was conscious about it. Being morally conscious is felt by the conduct of your behavior, by treating people right, Ephesians 4:31-32, understanding the ugly process of molding yourself, perseverance. Joseph had to go through an ugly process. David had to go through an ugly process. Esther had to go through a year of preparation before she could meet the king. During the ugly process, how do you respond to situations and people around you? Esther 14:5. But being morally conscious again, you know, if you are now, and we say we are Christians, you are not uncomfortable or you don't feel guilty of studying the Word of God, there's a problem. Trust me. It starts, first of all, from your mind. That you don't do it is a different thing. That you are not bothered or worried about it is a bigger issue. Truth be told, it is a bigger issue. It is a bigger issue. Like a sister told me once when she was with her dad, that In the night when she didn't feel like, the father would just say, just read one psalm, just read one psalm, just read one psalm. Empower your mind about whatever you think. Philippians 4:8-9. Whatever is pure, whatever is true. If your thoughts are not disturbing to you, if you cannot sit down and think of good things, like there was a day I was in School of Wives, and Felix Adejimo said, wives, stop fighting your husband. See yourself and your husband as a king. Think of it being very good. If in a situation you cannot think of the positive out of the situation, there is a problem. My sister, think positive of your situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you think positive of that situation, you have something to look forward to. And your conscience will not allow you sleep to accept the current situation. Reality is not a package. It's not a package. You see king and queens, people look at them, they envy them. It's not a package. If they tell you what they go through, if they tell you where they go through, where they cannot eat, what they cannot see, what they cannot wear, what they cannot walk, where they cannot go, what they cannot do. Sometimes father cannot meet son. When a heir is of close to being a king, he and the father cannot stay in the same house. Very clear. There's a lot of work. It's not a package. It's not a package. It's a conscious behavior to get you where skills, money, status will not get you. It is a conscious effort. Being morally conscious and gentle shows self-control to attract what you are, not what you want. Who and what you are. Matthew 5:5, please. If you see someone and they say this person is very quiet, this person is very quiet, if people want to come and talk to you, they will not come shouting. But if they know this person, they say, no, they will come. No, let's forget about personalities. We all have personalities. Pastor G, it is forbidden for you to shout at your people. It's not acceptable. Jesus never did that. His only display of anger was in the church when they were doing what was rightfully wrong. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The strongest people in life are the morally conscious and humble people. Till tomorrow, people will say Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. They are ready to assist, cheerful to serve, patient and tender in temperament. When Pastor Victor gave me this, I said, maybe it's it because I'm quiet. People say I'm quiet. But when I looked again, I said, may God forgive me, I've fallen short. Sometimes when you raise your temperament of people, it's not because, it's because they don't understand what you're saying. So raising your temperament or raising your voice, like I would say, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for this. They still will not understand it. It doesn't mean you are weak. It says strength under control. Ability to do and achieve under control. Like God himself is still under control when Satan is still messing up every day. If some people here were God, they would have finished everything. Finished it. And I saw that one and I said, we underestimate God. Still patient, still waiting, took the power I gave you, doing nonsense. I sent my son to earth. You had the guts to come and meet him and tell him nonsense and tell him rubbish. How morally conscious and humble is God the Father that we should copy? In situations where you are faced with challenges, when Joseph was with Potiphar's wife, it wasn't Joseph that was shouting. Who was the person shouting? It was Potiphar's wife. He has done this, so he has done this, so You cannot sit and expect things to just work. You have to work it out and show strength under control, even in situation of chaos. You know, Pastor just said, someone said, Emilokon, it's my turn, it's my turn. He didn't go and cause boys to scatter the place. Did he? No, he went somewhere. They finished everything. We heard so many things. And I would say, he consciously spoke about everything. What I want for myself, or what we as Christians should have the ability to navigate situations around in your favor. Proverbs 25:15. Your ability, the way you behave, will help you navigate things around your favor. Some successful secrets of being morally conscious and gentle. Proverbs 15:1. You will be an anger quencher. Proverbs 25:15. You will have the strength to persuade people to do anything. You know, even though people say Joe Biden, but when you say you want to compare, I'm not a destiny, to the president before, you know, there are reactions and the way people will react. Proverbs 16:21. You will be wise and understood. The act of selling, you know, for those that do evangelism, the act of selling God to people is not by fire, by force. You will die, you will die, you will die. It doesn't work that way. You have to meet them at their points where they can talk to you. And you have to talk to them in a humble way. You know, we went out once and we were giving pamphlets. The guy said, please don't give me, no, just tell me what is inside. I cannot read. Just tell me, speak to me, let me hear. At that point, is it hellfire? No. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. What you will say is the positive, nice words of what God came to establish on earth, to get the person to even think and consider God. The truth is, whenever there is chaos, whenever there is anarchy and disorder, the solution that royals bring to the table is not to join in the chaos. It's not to join in the discussion. It's not to join in the disturbance. But rather pursue righteousness, godly life, faith, love, and perseverance. Like I said, just as our Heavenly Father is with us today. Even to the devil, he's still extremely patient and weak. So how much more we can? We can do it. My brothers and sisters today, you know, I said, I'm not here to tell you that shall not kill, that shall not steal. No, I'm not. And I will ask another question again if we have a paper and a pen. What is your self-image? How do you want people to see you? Have you ever thought about it? How do you want people to see you? How do you want people to see the image of yourself? How do you want to truly live and express your life here on earth? Is anybody comfortable with the situation they are here today in life? If you are comfortable, I'm not even also comfortable. Even if you are comfortable as your own life, that you are morally conscious, you cannot be comfortable if the situations around you are not comfortable. You know, they say, the children you refuse to educate or school or give them food, when you have, there will be a pester in your body. If you have a maid in your house and you refuse to train the maid or make her better in your life, she will frustrate you as you are raising your children. Because you cannot even leave her or leave them for a very long time, because they will influence your children. No matter your level. You see, that's why the very rich people have, very wealthy people have charities. And they move towards their charities. Because they understand the principle. Yeah. They understand the principle that you cannot have it alone. If every day you feel you are okay, just because I want to achieve my daily bread, check yourself out. You've not started. You have not started. You have not started. Oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm morally conscious. I do not steal. I do not kill. I do not destroy. Oh, this boy, you're doing bad things. It's not good. It's not that. No. It's this boy, you should be a king and a queen like me. What do I need to do to make it happen? If you haven't gotten to that level, we need to check yourself out. I said everybody has fallen short, including me. Nobody's perfect here. Just like Jesus, how do you see yourself? Can anybody explain how Jesus looks at all of us today? How God looks? How do you think God looks at me? How does God look at you? Does he look at the evil you did yesterday? Yeah. He sees you as perfect. In fact, Tower of Babel, the reason why he had to scatter it, because he felt if they get to where they can do anything, the human mind is powerful. They can do anything. Because that wasn't the will he had for them. You cannot see yourself as representative of a king to challenge a king. It's not possible. It's not possible. Kings, they will have their local chiefs and whatever. You cannot go there challenging the king. Even if you want anything and you have been unfavorably dislined from maybe whatever you were meant to have, you don't go there fighting and commanding an army to go in there. You cannot go in. You cannot go in. How do you think Jesus Christ sees you? How do you think he sees the mandate he had given you to achieve? You can write this down and think about it properly. Don't feel too bad. How do you see your life progressing? How has it progressed in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years? The way God sees us is very different. The way God sees situations is very different. The way a politician sees area boys is very different. The way a king sees beggars or area boys is very different. I had a professor once and said, why do we see beggars as people that cannot walk? Okay, they don't have legs, but they have hands. In a farm, they can pluck and pick. It's very different. You need to change your perspective of how you see things for now to how you see things for the future. No mother, and I'm here, no mother will see a child and in ambition, that child should be a robber. Never. 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 No mother will see a child. Even in the markets, I go a lot to the markets because I have some area boys I try to talk to. It's a difficult work. Difficult. But even the mamas there, see them as children. The mamas that sell in the market, they see them as children. Even though forget, sometimes they'll be shipping and everything. But they still call them children. They call them as every day. If there's one thing you need to take out today, if you've not said good morning to your father, if you've not